My name is Gabriel, and I'm an artist, and I do subconscious drawing paintings. So what that means is that it's all intuitive. Um, I don't pencil, or there's no preliminary plan or anything. So it's basically just like a collective of subconscious thoughts of whatever I experienced or maybe saw that day. And I'll start with a line or a shape, and just develops from there. So it's even a surprise to me. I never know what it's going to look like or anything. It makes it hard sometimes when you have to submit work to people, because some companies don't get how that can turn out okay. But if it's like you like the work, this is the process. This is how it's done. When you start out, you want to be a perfectionist. You want every line to be exactly how you want, and that's just not how humans are. So the line is just as consistent as how a person is. And that's kind of one of the universal, messages within the work that I think applies to anybody, no matter what it is you're doing. I'll draw like a woman or a man, and he would have robot hands. And sometimes you don't always connect the subconscious dots, but if I had to connect that one, to me, that's just a commentary of how we're revolved all around technology. We're constantly on our phones. I would be drawing, and out of nowhere, I'd turn around and somebody was Snapchatting me, you know what I mean? Like right in my face. And we just rely on that so much, not just like trying to be productive and effective in your work or whatever, but, in social settings, you name it, it's everywhere. When I do a painting, I learn from it in the sense of what I was thinking, why did I make this line like this, and all those different kinds of aspects that, when you look at it. And I try to express a lot of self-awareness and coping mechanisms. So in a lot of my paintings, you'll see that people are drinking. There's always bottles, and I'll have like TVs in it. Just a collective of experiences and thoughts, and they get stored somehow in your subconscious. Some people don't even realize how heavily that influences them in their life. And I used to be a general contractor before I started doing this, and I was making a comfortable living. And I just, I got to a point where I had to choose. And I didn't want to ask myself 10 years from now, what if I took that risk? And I know it's a risk, and I know some people let that fear take a hold of them. And I don't blame them, because it is a risk, and it can be scary, especially financially. But you know what, man? Like, everything comes to an end. And if you didn't try, I feel like that's even worse. We are conditioned at such an early age to fall in certain friend groups, the way you speak, to the clothes that you dress, to the clothes that you wear. It's just a collective of experiences and thoughts, and they get stored somehow in your subconscious. I recently learned that I had a great uncle who was in a similar situation as me, where he basically had two paths that he could take. One was with his art, or the other one was just having a career in something else that had nothing to do with the arts. And he basically decided to let his art go, and he went crazy and just burned all of his paintings, and decided that money was more important than his self-expression, without knowing that the money can come through your self-expression. I think there's like a little bit of, he adds like some humor to it. What do I want people to take from the art? I gotta think about that for a second. Really is whatever they decide. I mean, I guess that's part of what I'm saying about forming their own opinion. So, I mean, they might look at an opinion of mine and absolutely hate it, which is totally fine because that's their own opinion. That's basically what I want. I want them to form their own opinion. And if they're inspired by it, and by the process and the work, great. And if not, that's fine too.